Wow.
Hello, happy Tuesday. Welcome back for another recipe review. That clip that I just showed you in the beginning of this video is from Okonomi Kitchen. If you don't follow her on Instagram or TikTok, you are completely missing out on some of the best vegan recipes out there. I have a huge list of her recipes that I am dying to try. And today we got some kabocha squash. I meant to say kabocha, not kabocha. Kabocha. I'm gonna mess this up probably 3 more times during this video. I cannot get this word right. Kabocha, not kabocha. Kabocha. I am going to try this recipe out. I'm going to let you know my thoughts, whether we liked it or not, and if this is something that I would make again. So stick around and let's get started. So for my recipe review, I decided to cut the squash in half because Alan is not much of a food sharer, and I just felt like this would be a lot easier for us to eat ourselves this way. So my plan is to cut the bottom of this once it's done baking, and then it'll sit flat. And I love how deep it goes. It'll be perfect. This is a perfect individual serving. And then I'm going to roast the seeds because I always have to roast some squash seeds whenever the opportunity presents itself. I ended up serving it with some roasted cauliflower, which is absolutely not necessary because it was filling on its own. It was a complete meal on its own. You really don't need anything extra. So this was my very first time ever trying out this squash, and I wasn't sure what I was gonna do with it. I saw it at the grocery store, picked one up, and started looking on YouTube right away. And then this recipe literally just came to me one day on Instagram, and I just instantly knew that was the recipe I was gonna try for this. The ingredients for the recipe are very straightforward, pretty much what I already had in my pantry and my refrigerator. I didn't have to go out and get anything except for the cheese. And I was going to omit the cheese altogether because I really want to try to limit as much processed food as I can from our diets. It's just something that I've been trying to work on. So I just felt like we don't need the cheese, and it's just an extra thing that you add on top of it. It's not gonna change the whole thing. Wrong. And I'm not saying this because I made it without the cheese. I'm saying it because the cheese made the dish. And I really almost made it without it. And after we were done eating, we were like, oh, thank God we went out and got some, because that made the dish. So let's rate this dish. Did we like it? We loved it. As far as, was it easy to make? Was it difficult? Did it take a lot? It was very easy. Like I mentioned, the ingredients, you probably already have them all at home. And it really did not take long at all. The prep time online, I think, says 30 to 40 minutes. And I think that's including baking the squash. So to make the filling for the squash was so quick, so easy. It was so good. It was so creamy. It was perfect for a creamy vegan dish, especially if you're not a fan of coconut, the flavor of coconut. If you don't want to use coconut cream in every dish in order to get the creaminess in a vegan way, this hit the spot. You used dairy-free milk, you use the dairy-free cheese, which allows it to get even creamier. You're adding flour to thicken it. It was perfect. I will make this again, and I love the squash now. I'm so glad I gave it a shot, and I'm glad I tried it out with this recipe because it was the absolute perfect way to try it for the first time. I love it. I'm a fan. The squash is obviously seasonal. I got mine from Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. They both carried them. We enjoyed it. It was easy to make. It was delicious. It was great to eat. And I loved the fact that I could cut the squash in half and it was a perfect little bowl for each of us. It was something I've never tried before and something I probably wouldn't have been able to come up with on my own. So thank you, Okonomi Kitchen, for your recipe. It was a 10 out of 10. I am a fan, and the only thing I regret is not following you sooner because your recipes are just so creative and it gets me excited to try new foods from different parts of the world that I'm not familiar with. So just do yourself a favor and try something new. I think that's the best part about cooking, is just trying something new out, and if you don't like it, you don't ever have to make it again. And then if you love it, you have a new recipe that can come into your rotation and you can enjoy whenever you'd like. So thank you for watching. I hope this recipe review helped you understand this recipe if you were curious at all about it. I look forward to doing more recipe reviews in the future, and I will see you then. Take care.
Oh,